Adam Patti, CEO of VistaShares ETFs. Your firm recently launched a new fund, the POW ETF, focusing on power infrastructure in relation to the AI boom. Can you tell us about the investment thesis behind that?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me today. So, look, we all know about the AI infrastructure play. It's been a very important exposure for investors for quite some time, and frankly, we're right in the early innings of that. So, but the issue is that, when a Meta, for instance, comes out and says they're going to invest $200 billion in AI infrastructure, they're putting it into data centers and semiconductors. And those are the plays you want. You want the companies that are creating those or building those data centers and semiconductors. But the gating issue to actually allowing those AI data centers to even operate is a lack of power. And what's interesting is that we don't have a lack of energy, we have a lack of power. So what that means is that, we have plenty of natural gas, we've got plenty of energy, and of course there are other ways to generate energy, right? You've got micronuclear, all the new ways that people are looking at, the renewables, but at the end of the day, our grid around the country is around 20 to 40 years old, depending on where you are. It is completely ineffective in even satiating the needs of today's consumers just with their existing, needs, right? Air conditioning in the summer. Now it's electric cars. You see all the brownouts going on in California. So the grid needs a major infrastructure upgrade regardless. But the issue is that these AI data centers soak up so much energy and so much power, I should say, that there's no way to actually generate it and distribute it and transmit it to those facilities at this point. So we need a major infrastructure upgrade. So the play here is that we look at the supply chain. We look at where the CapEx is being deployed into that sector. So, for instance, if you look at the other ETF, AIS, which is AI infrastructure, we map out the supply chain, we overlay the bill of materials to try to determine, where is the CapEx going into building an AI data center. So it's cooling systems, racking, fiber, and so forth. What's different here is that there are many segments of the grid, right? But what our analysis has shown, and it's been very clear, is that over 50% of the CapEx dollars are actually going into transmission and distribution. So, generation is certainly important, but it's a smaller piece of the pie, actually. It's transmission and distribution. It's the switching equipment. It's the cabling. It's all that stuff, all that kind of, industrial equipment and services that is needed to ensure that we have the power and can get the power to the data centers. Right now we're building data centers that, could be as large in terms of power usage as a small city. So imagine as dozens of these new facilities go up online, we're basically launching dozens of new cities. So it's quite a need, and we're pretty proud to bring the product out a couple weeks ago.
Adam, who might this product be useful for?
Well, it's for everybody who wants to get exposure to AI energy infrastructure. So certainly, retail investors, it's a great play for institutional investors, RIAs, financial advisors. It's a great way to express your view on a growing area. So it's a growth equity ETF. It doesn't pay income. It's not hedged. It's a growth equity strategy at the very early innings of where all this capex is going. And just one more thing on the capex, we talk about the trillions of dollars going into AI infrastructure. Believe it or not, if you look at the data, the infrastructure needs is going to demand a similar amount of capex over the next 5 to 8 years on the energy side as it does on the AI infrastructure side.
Adam, very interesting and timely. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.